Hello, Stampin' Buddies. It's Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Craftin'. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, in the very frigid state of Wisconsin. Coming to you, I guess it's still Tuesday night, not quite midnight, so it'll be Wednesday before this gets posted, but I thought I'd come to you as Late Night Lori again. I'm going to do an alternate to this treat box kit that I did yesterday. So the Cherry Blossom Treat Boxes kit. I haven't checked to see if it's available yet today. It was not yesterday. But since I actually tore accidentally one of the flowers, I decided to cut down that panel and we'll see how it looks. I'm just going to make it into a card. So this is the intended treat box for this kit. They're super cute. Pretty, actually. That kit, I think, was a $20 kit. You get the things to make 12 boxes. But I'm going to use parts. And some of this I already started just because it's late and my fingers are very dry and cracked. I was actually putting together a portable chicken coop tonight, or this afternoon and this evening. So my hands are a little sore from that, but I still wanted to come and do some crafting here. I did some baking and other things today, so that's why it's late again, because I seem to get more creative as the day goes on. So anyway, I decided that I wanted to do an accent piece with the early espresso that's featured in this Cherry Blossoms design. So I used the new online exclusive 3D embossing folder for plaster painting. What I did with mine is I took a card size front basically, but I angled it when I put it in the embossing folder because I wanted it to go straight across my paper when I cut. So then part of it I ended up just kind of folding over so that I could run it through the machine. Always run it fold first, just so you know. So I did that and I trimmed down this piece. It's not quite 1 1/4. It was just a random. I didn't actually measure that piece. I just eyeballed it. And then we're going to go ahead and glue that down with some liquid glue, the multi-purpose adhesive glue. And I'm using glue because with the texture, I want to make sure it kind of picks up where it can actually hold. You could use other adhesives, but I just like this. And that's a really thin layer. It looks like I've got a lot on there, but it's actually a very thin layer. And because of how I cut the piece, it's going to have a little border around it. And I did not make a sample of this. I just started cutting things and we're going to wing it. So with the pieces that I ruined, I slit them apart because they come as a single panel. So I slit them apart and I thought, well, that would kind of make a fun little card. So what I'm going to do is, I think, use this middle one, although I could trim it down a little bit further. I stamped a little bit of like creating your own DSP, and I'm not sure that I really like it that way, but most of it might get covered up anyway. So I think I'm just going to leave it. What I did was I used the void from the die cuts from the kit. I just put some Post-it notes over the flowers, and then I used blending brushes with this Pretty in Pink and just made some background flowers. And then I took one of the little flower images and did it also in Pretty in Pink. And then this one, I didn't I didn't actually use. I had it out here, but I didn't use. And then I used Early Espresso Stamped Off to make the little speckles. So I'm done with those stamping things. And then I'm going to be using this Thankful for You sentiment that's from this Greetings for All Mix and Match Ephemera pack. That's in the mini catalog. So I did Thankful for You is up here. So you get 2 sheets each of 3 different series of sentiments. There's no images, it's just all sentiments, mostly black on a white background or white on a black background. So let's get that out of the way. So we're just going to kind of wing this. And then I need to just get some of my things out of the way. So we're going to do that. I took a couple of these extra flowers. Oh, I guess I did use this because I needed to stamp that on the flower cutout. So let's take care of that. Hopefully I'll get it pretty close. Oh yeah, that's good. And then what I did to this flower is I used my bone folder to curl the edges a little bit. And that just, it breaks down the fibers if you use the bone folder. And you can kind of curve that up a little bit. And then I took a Take Your Pick tool and put the flower in my hand and then push the Take Your Pick tool in the center and kind of moved it around. And then it curls it up without bending it. So that one I didn't stamp quite as well, so that might just go on a layer behind because it's still usable, but not necessarily pretty. So this one was going to go here. This one is going to go here. And this one will go here because that's how the branches lined up. But what I need to do then is trim it down. And I couldn't decide if I wanted to keep this flower or not. So I'm actually going to trim it off. So what I want to do is I want to keep this branch intact because it lines up there. So I'm just going to put this on top of there. And I am going to fussy cut around here and just mimic the curve. That will cut off the part of the flower that's slit for the treat boxes. And we'll just see how this looks. And when I fussy cut, I move the paper, not my scissors. Okay. So I need to round a little bit of this better. So you can see where basically my scissors are staying in the same direction. And I'm moving the paper while I squeeze down on the blades. There, I think that'll be good enough. Yeah, my finger cracked, so I'm using one of Riley's Band-Aids. All right, so that would go there, this will go there, and that one will go there, but I'm still too long, obviously, because it's going over the edge of my card. So my card base is an 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 so that we get this regular hamburger fold. So I think what I'll do is we'll trim a little bit off of this one, we'll trim a little bit off of this one, and I think I have enough where I can actually Still cut a little bit more off of here to follow the curve of the that middle piece. So this is what making a card on the fly is like. So again, that's going to go in the middle because that matches up there, and that'll go there. So I think if I take about not quite a 1/4 inch off of each of these, we'll move them up, and that'll give us a little space in between. So let me get my little trimmer. And we'll just start trimming a little bit and we'll see how it goes. So this one will take off just a little bit here. We might have to take off a little bit more, but I'd rather take off a little than a lot. And then this one, I'm just gonna flip it over. You can always cut more off, but you can't put more back on. So we still need to take a little bit more off each of those. All right, so let's do this. I'll make sure that one's on top. That one's there, so I want to cut these edges. So let's just line these up together and try to cut them at the same time, and then they'll be the same width. Let's see how that worked. So that one's going here. This one's going here. What do you think? Oh, I think that'll work. That will work. So I'll get rid of the trimmer. And then this is going to go here, I think. And then we'll put a couple of flowers to maybe camouflage a little. What we could do is just trim this to follow the curve. I think that'll work. So how often do you just grab stuff and start putting it together? Usually I have a plan ahead of time, but today, not so much. We're just winging it. So this one I need here. So I can just take a little bit more of this curve off. Hopefully it'll look good enough. The paper is so pretty that it should camouflage any of my errors. So I'll glue those there. I guess those little flowers and stuff under there, they're okay. I could have probably put them more to the edge, but this will go here, and that way you can still see how the branches go together. And then these could just go anywhere there, and I guess maybe I don't even need this one, although we usually do it in 3s. So if I did those there together and maybe one over here, what do you think? I think that'll work. And this is going to be a thank you card to someone who I should have already sent it out. It was for a Christmas gift. So this is going to be going in the mail tomorrow as soon as I find the flower that I just dropped. So that's my on the fly creation for tonight, Late Night Lori. That didn't take too long, I guess. Maybe about 15 minutes-ish. So that's all I've got. Show me something that you put together. Maybe just with 3 vertical stripes and a horizontal stripe if you want to try to use the same template. Post it in the comments. I'd love to see it. If you want to try to shop for this Cherry Blossoms kit when it becomes available, you can shop my store, which is lorimaccari.stampinup.net. If you've got questions or if you need a catalog, shoot me an email, lorimaccari@gmail.com. I'd love to get them out to you. If you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. So that's all I got. Happy stamping. We'll catch you next time.